Hello.
Here we are.
We're here.
And what are we here for?
We're here for Tuesday Tech. Yes, my name is Leah. You are Jordan.
I am Jordan.
We are married.
We are.
And we're talking tech on Wednesday because why not?
Yeah.
Anyway, you joined us for the pilot episode, the first ever episode of Tuesday Tech.
On a Wednesday.
And we've got some stuff to talk about.
Okay, so what about now?
I don't know, is it going?
Yeah, it's going.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're on. Okay.
The wavelength looks better now.
Okay, so I can't do my dulcet tones.
Well, what if you use this mic and I use that mic?
Okay, I guess we can swap.
Yeah, so crazy. Within the last day, AI has just been like everywhere. Like, okay, it's everywhere already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've got it on all our devices. We all know ChatGPT. We all know this CoPilot. Gemini has just been pushed to all your Google devices.
I've never heard of Gemini, but CoPilot, yes.
So, you know, ChatGPT,
Yes.
right? You know ChatGPT.
Yes, who
Right.
doesn't? At
You've
this
used
day?
it, yeah. Everyone uses it.
Yeah,
So-
or they should.
Yeah, well, that's
Maybe
it. If
not.
you haven't, you're living under a rock.
Maybe not now. Yeah, anyway. Yes,
Yeah, so
absolutely.
we're talking about AI,
Yeah, we are.
right?
Specifically,
DeepSeek.
they've made a splash onto the AI market.
They sure have, and it's amazing.
It is amazing because, anyway, you know more about this story, so you tell me about it. What's going on?
So you've got all those big AI models, right?
Yes.
You've got your ChatGPT, you've got your Gemini that's now on your phone because it's Google, and you've got
CoPilot.
CoPilot.
My favorite.
How could I forget that? And then you've got Apple with Apple Intelligence, with a little cheeky because it's AI.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, you've got all these models that we know and love now,
Mm.
we're used to, and they're all US based, right?
Yes.
So DeepSeek isn't anywhere to be seen there. Right?
No, they're actually from far across the seas.
They are from China.
Yeah.
So this company DeepSeek, they've been around for 2 years, since 2023,
2023.
Yeah. right? And they released DeepSeek R1 yesterday, as far as we know.
Yeah.
And it is not only comparable to those models, it outperforms them,
Wild.
right?
Yeah.
So DeepSeek
Mm-hmm.
comes to the game,
Yes.
gets released, and it costs them not 100 million, is open source.
Yeah.
It costs them 5 to 6 million to learn and train, where your normal one costs 100 million, and they just release it and say, here you go, open source.
What?
Open source, you can
How?
read the source, you can do what you want.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How though?
So, you know, I mentioned that open source, right?
Yes.
And that's amazing. But I sort of dropped in a sidebar there that it only costs them 5 million to train this model, right?
Okay.
And said that the general one costs about 100 million.
Quite a bit more. Yeah.
Right. That's sort of been the truth that we've just been told and had to sort of swallow, is it costs an exorbitant amount to make these models, and OpenAI being probably the biggest face to that.
Sure.
And they say, look, it costs us 100 million to train this model.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's trained, then we can go on with the next thing.
Right.
So every model needs to be trained. It needs to be sort of brought up as a child.
Okay.
And then once it comes to an age, then
Yep.
it's actually released and it's smart.
Right. 100 million a pop. Done. Right.
The 100 million is closely involved with a chip manufacturer, NVIDIA.
Uh-huh.
And NVIDIA is something that you see everywhere. So
Right.
this laptop here, for instance, has an NVIDIA GPU.
So it does.
Yeah.
I actually never saw that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
Wow.
a lot of tablets use
okay.
NVIDIA. Some phones, maybe not so much today, but they used to. But, you know, we've moved away from that. NVIDIA is a de facto company for making chips, right, in the US. And so
Okay.
they're making these sort of curated chips for this AI model.
Right.
So 100 billion uses these chips by NVIDIA.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy part about it all
Mm-hmm.
is that those chips are then sort of like sanctioned by the federal government to never be allowed into China.
Spicy. Okay.
Right? Crazy.
Drama.
So this model that we're talking about, DeepSeek, is in China,
Right.
developed when there isn't an open source thing to base it off, without the chips that they cost, and comes out with something that's better, outperforms it, cheaper, and runs on older technology because they didn't have the chips. Does this not remind you of like Tony Stark, you know, making his arc reactor, just, you know, like
from his basement.
yeah,
with like nothing.
you know, like
nothing but like, you know, shrapnel in a
Yeah.
dream.
Yeah. So it's
Wow.
insane.
And the fact that they've been kind of shut out of the US and to make something better,
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. And so the kind of funny irony is the chip manufacturer NVIDIA, right?
Yeah.
So this news comes out. None of it, as far as I know, is founded. It's sort of like, yes, they've got a product. Yes, we can play with it. Yes, we can see how it performs. But we don't actually know definitely if it costs 5 to 6 million to train the model. That's just sort of what they're saying.
Okay.
Right? So this is unfounded, but generally, okay, we're going to take them on that.
Yeah.
Just that alone,
Yeah.
NVIDIA's stock price completely plummets 17%.
17%.
Never seen before in the US.
Oh my goodness me. Wow.
17%.
That's like unheard of, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So now that all this has kind of happened in the last day
Yeah.
or so, it's been a pretty crazy day.
Yeah.
And now that DeepSeek is out, they've made their big splash in the world.
Yeah.
What's next from here? Or rather, what are the implications of this then?
Well, what would be the implications if the Krabby Patty secret formula was out?
Open source. So what does that mean now for?
Let's play it out. Let's play out the analogy of SpongeBob, right?
Okay.
I mean, it's easy to understand.
It's a good analogy.
Imagine Plankton gets that, and then is able to replicate it at a cheaper cost. What does that mean? Like, to me, it means that people will be making Krabby Patties at home.
Or the Krabby Patty will never be the same again.
You'll never think that it's like some golden goose.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be replicated and then changed and then replicated and changed, and people will be able to make it at home, and so it'll have implications of that it'll be mass propagated and just available for everyone. But at the same time, it also means that it won't be as regulated, I guess, and won't be as sort of funneled to one or a few companies.
Okay.
So it can be really good, but then also in the wrong hands,
it could be bad, problematic. Okay. So then, I guess, in your opinion then, as the techie man in this house anyway, what do you think will happen next? I mean, it's pretty much anybody's game now.
Anyone with a little bit of backing, because really an enterprise, 5 to 6 million to train a model, it's not a lot of money at that scale.
Well, I mean, we won't be doing it anytime soon, but for someone with a bit of a backing, like you said.
Yeah.
Could make some serious AI.
Yeah, I mean, you might find that someone in the medical sector says, hey, I need some AI model to run this particular task. I have a annual turnover of 100 million.
Yeah.
So let me just take out a little bit, build this model, and now we've got something in the medical world.
Wow. Okay, yeah. So that's, I mean, it's actually a little bit exciting now, actually, looking at it through that lens, because it sort of gives AI a chance to sort of diversify, hit different industries.
Totally.
But then it's still a little bit scary because it's still new technology, and I know there's always going to be some people that are a bit tech fearful, like myself, I will say.
Yep, sure.
Although I do use Copilot and enjoy it quite a bit, there's a lot, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that sees new technology and goes, oh, that's a bit scary.
I think just on that, right? Just on that fear factor, right?
Yeah.
I think a good friend of mine, Gary, if you're watching, he kind of likened it to the stages of a grief.
Right.
That I don't know them exactly, but the idea is that you sort of deny it.
Okay.
And then you have an issue with it.
Yep.
Anger, and there's probably a trust thing in there.
Bargaining, acceptance.
Right? But at the end, you accept it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
When ChatGPT came out, there was speculation around, oh, what about this? Am I going to lose my job because of this? But now every man and his dog uses it.
Yeah.
That's true. So the fear thing, it's not unfounded.
No.
But I don't think it'll stick around long enough to see the light of day.
Yeah, okay.
We've had the industrial era, and that came and went, and we're better for it, really.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
We had the printing press, we had technology, we had the internet. All these things, they always come with a little bit of pushback.
Yeah.
And look, rightly so, they've brought about some bad things.
Yeah.
But they've brought about a lot of good things too.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, I guess it's very much of a watch this space kind of situation now that they've kind of gone open source. It sort of means that though AI may implicate some jobs, some industries, it would create opportunities for new jobs to come around.
Yeah,
which
100%.
Is, it'll all balance out, work itself out in the wash, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, if you're interested in AI, definitely try to learn about it now.
Yeah.
Get your certs up, get your training up, because there'll definitely be more jobs in that sphere.
Yeah.
And look, those jobs might actually get less technical as the models become more feasible.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess as they're more kind of like widely used, people just generally have a better understanding of how they work. It's exciting. It's a little scary, but it's mostly exciting. And I don't know how I feel about, the technology, I guess, coming from questionable place. But, like, they're doing some pretty amazing things over there, needless to say. And they've...
Yeah, like politics aside, their technology and the way that they've been able to build this to a point... With
no help.
If that is the full truth, then that is a feat.
Absolutely.
And is worth, the recognition.
Absolutely.
So
give it where it's due.
Yeah.
Sure. So, moral of the story, I guess, this whole DeepSeek AI debacle is a watch this space kind of thing. Hey?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Well, since that is a bit of a watch this space, I guess we should wrap it there.
Yeah. No, that sounds good, and I hope that was enjoyable. I mean, it's enjoyable for us,
yes,
given that we finally got a tag that worked. But no, that was enjoyable to talk about tech and bring it down to earth.
Yes.
Right?
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens with this. Yeah. And we'll leave it at that.
Thank you. If you want to see more of these videos, please let us know soon, and we'll catch you next time.
All right. See ya.